Taurus Risings, October 2020. Kind of your turn as your sign to get the wake-up call between responsibilities and fun. Like, are you spending your time away from whatever normal routine you have, partying, or are you, studying in the ways that you should? If you are excited to dive into what the astrology, the tarot deck, and the oracle deck cards have in store for you for this month, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. This video is brought to you by my very own Astrology Academy course. I've been working on this course for so many months, testing it, refining it, reiterating it, and making it the product that I would have wanted for me to start out when I was learning astrology. So all the information is below if that's something that you're interested in, as well as a 1-hour webinar that I did, which is just a very, very brief overview to how to start learning astrology, so that if you know that you want to commit, you can look at that down below. But if you are more interested in like dipping your toe in or seeing what astrology exactly is, the webinar is also linked down below. Either way, I'm excited to start learning with you in the weeks and months and future to come. Hi, I'm Maren. I am a professional astrologer, author, and philosophy student. I combine traditional Hellenistic astrology techniques with modern psychological counseling dynamics in order to provide grounded spiritual guidance. So this whole entire month, we are toned by Mars and Aries in your 12th house, squaring Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in your 12th house. Mars in your Aries 12th house is indicating some aggression or some activity that is tumultuous happening in your internal psychological world. There's an investigation of what habits don't support you and what is squaring these 9th house planets around higher education or long-term plans. That something that you're doing within your own internal world on a psychological decision-making level is at odds with what long-term goals you want to see yourself pursuing, particularly around long-distance travel or higher education or your spiritual practices in general. And that's toning the whole month. There's this tension. On the 1st through the 5th in particular, though, we have a bit of a lighter note. We have Jupiter in Capricorn sextiling Neptune and Pisces between your 9th and 11th houses. This is kind of a redeeming aspect for 2020. That's a better than nothing cute aspect. That is kind of our one saving grace of a positive outer planet aspect right now. It is the expansion that's happening in your long-term educational goals or in the travel plans you see yourself making is allowing you to pursue dreams of connection and networking. That your social world right now is actually expanding as a result of the long-term plans that you have. So buy into and lean into the long-term practices and the long-term route and your beliefs and your quest, because that's going to open the doors for the know-how and the right place at the right time to come your way. On the 1st, we start the month out with an Aries full moon at 9 degrees of Aries and Libra in your 12th and 6th houses. So there's a full video on this down below, but this is a culmination in the most difficult houses in your chart. So definitely a release, a high point, a culmination of energy around physical and mental health, a chapter ending around there. So I'm going to guess this is pretty welcome. That generally when there's full moons in our health houses, it's pretty welcome because it's a release or it's like an energy of letting go. It might be a sleepless night on the 1st. Like, I would say the month starts out on a harsher note than necessarily we end on by any means. So expect possibly like a last straw or a final chapter of culmination in your physical and mental health at the beginning of the month. On the 10th through the 19th, so middle of the month, is toned by the Sun in your Libra 6th house, squaring Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto in your Capricorn 9th house. This is indicating that possibly an authority figure on a health basis, like a doctor or someone, is advising you not to go after your long-term plans, or coworkers that you respect, or like colleagues, comrades, even like fellow students in a way, might be advising you not to go after long-term plans, and you are seeing if you want to play small and listen to them, or if you do want to, blow the smoke out of the water. That's all I'm saying. If you want to do the thing anyway and go ahead and pursue it. So there's a tension between someone in your day-to-day life that might be advising you against going after something and you actually pursuing your dream. And I would caution you against doing either without considering the other's point of view here. On the 11th, Venus in your Virgo 5th house is trining Uranus in your Taurus 1st house. So you might find that some harmony in romance or creativity or even with children allows you to express yourself more freely. That this is a good month actually for creative expression. So lean into like romantic partnerships and the way that you feel creative or enlivened by that, and also your personal artwork, or if that's something for you. On the 13th, the Sun in your Libra 6th house is opposing Mars in your Aries 12th house. This is a really strong transit of something in your mental health or your psychological patterning being inconducive to your physical health or your routine. That I would really, really get keen on what practices of your mental health need to be adopted to prevent physical health deterioration. That frankly, these things are being activated this month. It's not a sudden alignment, it's more something of like building up nagging. So if you need to like really get outside help, or you need to adopt a spiritual practice to rail in like aggressive mental thoughts, this is a good month to do that. That this is really the time to go ahead and do that. On the 16th, we have a new moon in Libra in your 6th house, which is a new beginning around health, routine, like physical upkeep and habits to maintain and prevent illness. Not maintain illness, prevent illness, maintain health, or coworkers. So this is exactly the type of time that I would recommend at the end of the month, implementing a regimen, or like a just getting down and dirty and Marie Kondoing the way that you spend your time, because it's all good and fun to lean into the romance and the creativity and the fun of this month, but there needs to be a foundation beneath that that leads that not to be taken to excess, because I think that there's some recalibration in your routine necessary right now. On the 18th, Venus in Virgo is opposing Neptune and Pisces between your 5th and 11th houses. This is definitely an alignment where trying to get something, you're trying to enjoy yourself in your creative or your romantic pursuits, and you might be lied to or you might be deceived by larger groups. That I would examine what your friends or what your larger circle in an organization is telling you during this time about a romantic partner, in either way, either sugarcoating or like making them to come out to be a nightmare, or even like a creative project. If you're getting feedback and it seems either too good or too bad to be true, it probably is. On the 18th through the 25th, we do end the month with a nice trine from Venus and Virgo in your 5th house to the Capricorn planets in your 9th house. That the end of the month is allowing your creative pursuits or a romantic partner to aid in your long-term goals towards education, travel, or like a quest for philosophy. That by the end of the month, actually the creativity and the way that you're expressing yourself allows for that outlet to come into being, but it is kind of a tumultuous, turbulent time getting there in the first place. And finally, we end on the 31st, on Halloween, with the Sun in your Scorpio 7th house opposing Uranus in your Taurus 1st house. So, whoa, month ends on you doing something erratic or shocking to a romantic partner or to a close relationship in general. Whoa, yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys are going to do in terms of that at the end of the month, because it indicates you making a sudden or shocking rebellious decision, and that being at odds with possibly an authority figure, a masculine authority figure that you're close with. That could be like a boyfriend or like a teacher or a dad or something. But yeah, relationships, I'm interested to hear how that ties up this month. If you do have any thoughts around the astrology coming up this October for you, do let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you before we do get into some tarot cards. So tarot card for Taurus risings that we have the King of Cups upright. King of Cups is like big daddy emotional fulfillment. King is always like daddy energy, cups are emotions. So how do you feel the most emotionally fulfilled, and is what you're filling your cup up with sustainable? This is like heading to the source. What is my sustainable source of fulfillment? And if there's self-destructive habits that are preventing you from maintaining a full cup, and maybe that's over martyring yourself, and maybe that's giving yourself away to others, this is like treat yourself. Like let's like treat yourself. Yeah, I don't ever speak like that. I hate that. I take that out. That was like, I don't like that. That sounded like AAVE. Just go straight to treat yourself on that one. Treat yourself, treat yourself. For a Work Your Light Oracle deck card for Taurus risings, we have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Possibly some of the habits and the patternings that you're undoing relate to leeching or being leeched off of with others. That if you feel overly dependent on external sources outside yourself, this is the perfect month to get unbound, to release yourself from possibly even like a routine or coworker environment that just feels so limiting. This is the month of recalibration so that your responsibilities feel aligned and you want to be responsible. If you enjoyed this and you would like to check out my personal consultations below, if I am open for readings, I would love to read for you, and if I'm not right now at this time, you will be notified of a wait list and places to join so that you can hear when I am reopened. But other things, astrology webinar is down below, 1 hour to really get you started and learn from me directly, what the first things I would guide you on are. Astrology Academy is down below if you are ready to dive into this on a semester-esque, really committed level. I'm excited to learn with you in that way. But either way, do let me know down below any thoughts that you have about this October. Would love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, do all of the things, and sending so much love. I will see you in the next one.
There is one